everyone, we are Geeks Not Nerds.
Whoa.
I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
And today we're going to talk about Vince. If he were Keanu Reeves. Today we're going to talk about Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Dracula.
and is Keanu Reeves a good actor?
It depends.
Well, I guess we'll find out what you think. Right now, Vince.
Right now?
Right now. Yeah, we're nearly ready. Vince, why is your shirt wet?
Because IBC Diet Root Beer fizzes to a ridiculous extent. Do not drink it quickly.
We were doing a science experiment on root beer, and this is what we came up with.
See, when you shake it up and point it at people, it sprays.
Yeah, but it makes for an effective weapon if that's what you're going for.
Well, kind of.
Yeah, you're right. Not really. Okay, 1 minute on the clock.
Alrighty. Ready, set, and go.
Go ahead, Vince.
I think if we're going to say that Keanu Reeves either is or isn't a good actor, we have to define what makes a good actor. In my opinion...
Of course, you get to decide.
Yeah, of course. But in my opinion, what you have to be in order to be a good actor is somebody who can portray several different characters. Not at once, because that's ridiculous. But you have to be able to distinctly be something different than yourself. Keanu Reeves can't do that. Which brings me to my next point, he has no range. I mean, he's serviceable in a lot of roles. This is true. He was good in The Matrix. He was himself in The Matrix, and he was himself in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures. And the problem is that his personality is always that of a surfer dude / teenager, whatever you call it. He never branches out. You can't really noticeably say, this is different than this. Now, also, as just a separate note, I think no character or no actor who has a catchphrase should be allowed to be called an actor. Larry the Cable Guy's not called an actor. Joey from Blossom.
That's it. Boy, I should have been taking notes. I had so many problems with what you just said. Okay.
See if I can do it right this time. Whenever you be ready.
Okay.
Ready? Go.
Well, of course, like Vince said, you have to kind of decide what good acting is. I'd say no matter what your definition of that, during his early days, Keanu Reeves was avoiding films that required good acting. So, I don't think Bill and Ted or Speed necessarily required a good actor. But, people say that he's got no range of emotion, like Vince. And I think that Keanu Reeves is just kind of subtle. I don't think he necessarily has no range. I think he's just not... I'm very angry, and I'm not angry at all. I think he's just a lot more subtle than that, and so, he gets cast. The problem with him, the reason people think he has no range, I think, is because he gets cast in roles of which he's not necessarily appropriate for. He was cast, for instance, he was cast in William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, and he was the bad guy in that, and he was like, he was trying to be over the top. He did as best as he could to be over the top, but Keanu Reeves doesn't do over the top. Well, he was miscast. That wasn't the right person for that role, and I don't think that's necessarily his fault.
Oh, time's up.
I didn't get to all my points.
Oh, well, it happens.
Alright, well, Vince, I think for maybe the first time we actually have things to argue about.
These could
or
be.
at least more than usual. Can I see your notes?
Sure.
Okay. Alright, 3 minutes on the clock. Here we go.
Now, I want to talk about range first of all.
I knew you would.
Yes, that's right. I'm not saying that Keanu Reeves doesn't have any range of emotion at all.
Okay, all right.
I'm saying Keanu Reeves doesn't have any range in the idea of how to portray different characters. Say, he couldn't be a guy from the Bronx, because he ain't. He couldn't be anything other than what he is.
Well, I suppose that's maybe true, although you keep acting like he always does that surfer dude thing, and I don't see that. I mean, in The Matrix, I don't see Keanu Reeves going, or whatever you were doing. I can't do that. Do that again, it's funny.
Whoa.
Okay, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. It was a very subtle whoa. And everybody makes fun of it because they remember. I mean, the thing is, if he had never done Bill and Ted, people would not remember him that way.
No, but they would still look at him as a surfer dude.
Maybe, but...
Because there's still Point Break.
I
all this stuff
say let's see what happens when he's a lot more middle-aged. You know what I mean? Like I say, let's wait until he gets gray-haired and see if he changes as an actor, because he can still act like a young guy because he still is relatively young.
Yeah, he's middle-aged. I mean, and he still looks young and healthy, and he's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, so you can pull that kind of thing off. But I do think there is a major difference between what he did in The Matrix and what he did in Bill and Ted and any comedies he's been in.
I mean, well, there is a difference because in Bill and Ted, old Keanu Reeves was trying to be a surfer dude. But
well, sure, yeah.
I don't think that he can not be a surfer guy. I mean, if you look at an actor like Heath Ledger, who became something entirely different for the Joker, that's something interesting. Or Doug Jones, even, for Hellboy.
Okay, but I would make the case that at least for the most part, a lot of really big-name Hollywood actors have that, and nobody makes fun of them for it. Tom Cruise is nearly always Tom Cruise.
That's true.
You know, and so I mean, is it that he can only do one thing, or is he typecast?
I would say he's not really typecast, because even if you look at The Matrix, which he's not a surfer dude in The Matrix.
No, but I don't think he's like a surfer dude in The Matrix, and that's where we're disagreeing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how you can correlate that so much to what he did in his comedies.
Mm-hmm. I suppose the problem is that we can't really supply supporting evidence either for or against it without looking at the movie and going, look, right there!
See that right there? Look at that! Yeah. Well, but like I said, I mean, you know, the whole thing where he looks at the camera and goes, whoa! I mean, that's the kind of thing he might have done in Bill and Ted, except he did it differently, but he still gets made fun of for it. Now, I'm not saying he's a brilliant actor at all, and I have seen him in roles that I didn't really care for him in. And another thing, and I think for me the thing is, and the reason I defend Keanu Reeves a lot is because I like his style. He's one of those actors who he's the only person who can do what he does, and an actor who can do a bunch of different roles is more interesting than that, but I still like that, so I think that's why I take up for him a lot. Did you see Constantine?
Yeah, I own Constantine.
Do you like Constantine?
It's okay.
Oh, really wanted to talk about Constantine.
Well, just to tack on something to one of your points.
Sure, go ahead.
Subtlety in acting. A good example is Robert De Niro. If you look at The Untouchables, his role as Scarface, or not the character Scarface, anyway, the actual guy. De Palma, I think, was the director, who said he had De Niro take several different takes of a certain scene, and he never saw how it was different until he went back and looked at the footage, and everything was just slightly different. Mm-hmm. So there is something to be said for subtle acting, but I'm still going to have to stand by my points.
But you're not necessarily agreeing that what I'm saying Keanu Reeves doing is subtle is not necessarily subtle. Okay.
He is more subtle than he is in Bill and Ted. This is true.
Naturally, yeah. Well, hey, what do you think? Keanu Reeves, good actor, bad actor? Leave us a comment, and if you have any cool ideas for other things we might debate in the future, especially things you think we might just beat each other up over, leave us a comment and and let us know. Also, check out our blog and our podcast at geekvolution.com, and we'll see you next time. I don't have to do that every time.
Well, yeah, sure you do.
Oh, okay, I'm Captain Logan.
And I am Keanu Vince.
But see, if you'd been watching the video the entire time, you'd know that.
Indeed.
Do you think people just hit play and then go to the middle of the video?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah.
It's weird. We should do a study. We should get government funding.
See, I do that when I get irritated with whatever's at the beginning. Not funny, middle, not funny.
Yeah, they're like, they hate our 12-second intro. Boom, 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 the click.
Geeks. Not. I'm tired. Bam.
I don't want to have da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Oh, it's stuck in my head all day long. I'm skipping ahead. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. You know what I'm humming? It's not our theme song.
Yeah.
It's the Donkey Kong Country theme.
That's what I was thinking.
I can't believe you knew that.
I knew it was a video game.
No, that's as far as you got.
Oh my god, which one is that?